Hey everyone, my name is Leila and today I'm going to talk about honey fragrances. I think honey fragrances are perfect for fall, autumn season, for the colder weather. The honey fragrances, the honey itself perfectly suits the color of the season. So today I prepared 10 fragrances for you. They're quite different. There will be niche, there will be designers, there will be budget ones and more expensive ones. So I believe everyone will be happy today. So let's start. As always, I want to start with a classical fragrance, and I want to start with Reminiscence Tonka because I think this is the perfect classical honey fragrance. Yes. I used to wear this fragrance when I was 28, around 28, 29 years old. And this was my second fragrance that I used as my signature scent because this is something that I like. The first one was Intuition by Estee Lauder, and I was looking for something similar but a bit different, but from the same family. I would describe this fragrance as a very self-confident fragrance, like only quite a mature and self-confident woman would use this one. So this is how I imagine this fragrance. And this is a very beautiful honey mixed with lots of flowers. And I would say this is a huge flowers bouquet. It's very powdery at the same time because this flower bouquet has definitely lots of iris flowers. It has ylang ylang, I believe it has magnolia, probably it even has rose, I don't remember. But the whole altogether, of course, this is a honey floral, I would say, type of fragrance. It has some amber as well. On the top notes it has some citruses, it has red apple. So I would say like it is from the same family as Intuition from Estee Lauder, but it is sweeter, it is less citrusy, it's more honey type of fragrance. And the sweetness here, I think it's mostly floral and honey type of sweetness. Yes, I think it has also vanilla, but vanilla is not the prominent note here. I would say this fragrance is mostly about honey, powder and floral notes. So amazing, gorgeous, very high quality French perfumery with a tiny bit of old school. But again, for me, old school equals classical, equals timeless. It has perfect technical characteristics in terms of performance, longevity, concentration, the projection, and sillage is perfect in this old formula. I'm not sure about the new one, I don't know, I don't have it, but I believe people say, I don't know, rumors say that the old formula is more diluted, it's not that rich and not that bold. So if you're looking for something very autumnal, very fall-like, perfect fragrance for fall, I would suggest you to look for the old formula of Reminiscence Tonka. Another classical fragrance that I didn't hear people talking about at all. I wonder why, because it's a gorgeous, gorgeous, stunning fragrance. And I'm so surprised I discovered it only recently. I wish I could have it long time ago because it is amazing. And I'm talking about Prada or Prada Amber. I believe this is how it used to be called because on Fragrantica, when you see this fragrance, it goes like Prada and Amber is in the brackets, because I believe that Prada Amber is men's fragrance now. So this is an amazing mixture of patchouli, amber and honey for me, first of all. So these are the three prominent notes that I can feel and I can smell here. Yes, of course you can also feel some rose and some oak moss here, but I would say this is like ambery honey, but it's not sweet. And it's not sweet because it's a bit green, and it's green because it has lots of patchouli. Yes, some would say it has some old vibes, old school vibes, but I would say this is not old school, this is more niche quality. I purchased 30 ml for around $40 online. I decided to purchase a bigger size because I know that I will finish this definitely. This is my cup of tea, 100%. I want people to know about this fragrance. I believe it was discontinued, unfortunately, but online it is still available. I don't know, at least here in Emirates, I can easily find it in Amazon, in local discounters. So amazing fragrance, amazing quality, niche quality, I would say, for a very affordable price. I would say it has average performance. It stays on clothes for a long time. Like the next day I can still smell from my clothes the leftovers of this fragrance, the base. I wouldn't say it has some noticeable projection and sillage, but you can smell it from yourself. This is all I need. I can definitely feel this bubble around me, and it's more than enough. That's why I would highly suggest you, if you like the combination of patchouli, amber, beautifully done, very high quality, patchouli, amber, honey, rose and oak moss, highly suggest you to try this hidden gem. Another fragrance that I want to show, and you will be surprised, but probably you won't be surprised because I am very nostalgic about fragrances, and this is the fragrance that I purchased, I would say 3 or even 4 years ago, when I just started to, going into fragrances. I was looking for something that was very similar to my favorite fragrance when I was a student, Pupa Fiorillo. We used to have very small bottles of that because, we didn't have money to buy bigger ones, so we used to buy smaller ones, like miniatures. And I remember I used maybe 5, 6 or even 7 bottles of that small ones because I was repurchasing it again and again because I loved that fragrance. It was stunning. Since nowadays it's not available anymore, it was discontinued, I decided to find something very similar. So I went to Fragrantica and I found out that Regine's, I believe this is the only name it has, Regine's Parfum, it has a very similar smell, and it's true. I don't know if this fragrance is still available. I purchased, as I said, I think in 2018. So this is Pupa Fiorillo, that floral fragrance, plus lots of honey and wax. That mixture of honey and wax here is very noticeable because it gives the fragrance a bit of animalic aspect, which normally wax does, and it's very beautiful. Like a huge, very concentrated floral bouquet mixed with honey and wax. It has that sweetness, but the sweetness is again only floral. Amazing fragrance. It has a very good longevity, by the way. It doesn't smell old. Though this fragrance is from 1984, I believe. It was created in 1984. I would say I can easily imagine any niche brand to create anything like this. It is amazing. If you're looking for a very deep honey, floral, waxy type of fragrance, this is the one. I would say it has a very natural honey accord. I would say among all fragrances that you will see today, this is one of the most naturally smelling honey and wax fragrance. Right before it has that wax aspect that normally the honeycomb, I would say, aspect that normally honey has. It doesn't smell only honey and sweet. It also has that very prominent animalic honeycomb aspect when you smell the honey from the bottle. This one is the only fragrance I would say from today's list that has that very prominent honeycomb plus honey aspect. That's why I like it a lot. And also the color is definitely the color of the honey. Amazing fragrance. The next fragrance is a very popular one, and it's a modern fragrance, I believe, and probably you have it already. This is Sandal by Jean-Paul Gaultier. And this fragrance for me is honey plus caramel plus orange blossom. It's something really quite typical, and I would say to me it smells quite generic. It's pleasant. I must admit, it's very pleasant, and especially if you want to get compliments, especially from men, and you want something very easy to understand type of fragrance, I would suggest to go for this one, because people around you will be happy to smell this very gourmand, yummy type of caramel plus honey type of fragrance. I would say it's caramel. For me, the main note of this fragrance is caramel plus orange blossom plus honey. Like honey for me is on the third place. I was very surprised when I read and I saw in the Fragrantic that this have a honeycomb aspect, like a waxy aspect. That was very strange for me, because I wouldn't say that I can smell it there. To me, again, it's very similar to the situation with La Vie Belle from Lancôme, where the caramel aspect of the fragrance, it blocks anything else that it has. Like it has so much of caramel. It's like overload of an overdose of caramel that I cannot smell the other ingredients that I want to smell and that I find more attractive and more interesting for me. That's why I would, like, if it was me who would make a decision, I would put the caramel notes a bit down. I would calm it down a little bit and put the honey aspect and the floral aspect on the first places. Like, I would emphasize those notes. However, again, this is a very attractive type of fragrance, and my husband liked it a lot when he smelled it on me. He liked it, but unfortunately he didn't like this one. And it's very obvious, of course. If you want to get a real pleasure, and if you are a collector and you have quite a big collection and you're looking for the honey and you don't care what people think, I would suggest you to try this one. If you want to be liked by people who surround you and you want to get compliments, especially from men, of course choose the Sandal one. So the next fragrance is from Francesca Bianchi, and this is Dark Side. A very, very beautiful fragrance that I adore. I just adore because it's so beautiful. Oh, it's so dark. It's definitely very dark. I would say this is the mixture of honey and incense. Honey, incense, and iris. This is like a powdery honey incense fragrance, very dark. It's definitely, the color of this fragrance definitely suits the character of this fragrance. And I would say probably it's even darker. It's like a dark infused tea, black tea. Like, it smells, it doesn't smell like a tea, but it looks like a tea. If I could give a color to this fragrance, I would say it's like a dark cognac type of color. Very bold, very rich, very sophisticated type of fragrance, quite challenging, I would say, in case if you are looking for something lighter. This is not for you, definitely, because this is such, you know, a bomb, I would say, but very beautiful. The honey here is like a dark honey. If you saw that Asian type of honey, I saw that honey in Singapore. I tried it. It was dark, like the cognac color, dark brown type of honey. I would say this is the one because it's mixed with the incense. Amazing fragrance. It's multifaceted type of fragrance. It plays on your skin, it changes, it goes forward and backward, like very interesting fragrance. Amazing quality. Of course, it's not very affordable, around $90, I think $80 to $90 online, and this is 30 ml, but because of the performance, this fragrance is so beastly performance in terms of longevity. It's very long lasting, especially on the clothes. Like it lasts until you wash the clothes. It doesn't have a huge projection. It's not that loud, I would say, but it definitely creates that bubble around you. So amazing quality. The next fragrance is also from a designer's brand, and this is Reminiscent. And I have an old formula of Tonka. That's why it is quite a dark color. You see, it's quite dark. I believe that the new formula is lighter and it doesn't have those stars on the bottle. but I love this. I love this fragrance. This is a sour cherry mixed with honey. Like if you could make a jam, a sour cherry jam with honey, like instead of syrup, it would have honey. That would be this one. Why I smell sour cherry here? Because one of the main ingredients in this fragrance is almond. And the almond, the bitterness of almond is very similar to the bitterness of the sour cherry kernel. It has lots of similarities, I would say. That's why sometimes almond to me smells like cherry, like sour cherry, like wild cherry. So this is the one. It also has some spices, lots of spices, and honey is very prominent here, I would say. The main role players here are cherries and honey. So the quality-wise, very beautiful. People compare this to Tom Ford's Tobacco Vanille. I don't know. I doubt. Probably it's from the same family, I would say. They are quite similar in terms of, I wouldn't mix them, I wouldn't confuse them, but they definitely have some similarities. They are like cousins probably, but they definitely are not the twin sisters and brothers. So very beautiful quality, and as you may see, it's quite a popular fragrance in our family because me, my husband, my kids, we all love it. Another fragrance that I want to talk is a fragrance that I purchased not blindly. I tried it, and this is the first these brands fragrance in my collection. I always were a bit scared because I heard lots of things and I was afraid to purchase this fragrance. I believe that the DNA, the musky DNA of this fragrance is not my cup of tea. And I'm talking about the Montals, and this is Montal Honey Oud. I received this small tester, and very surprisingly, I loved it. So I used quite a lot, and I realized that this particular fragrance has nothing to be scared about, and it is quite polite, I would say. I was very surprised when I looked to the Fragrantica and saw that people say it's a beast mode type of fragrance and people got choked by it and like suffocated. I was very surprised because neither this tester bottle nor this full-size bottle had anything like that, because even this one, though it had a bigger sprayer, I didn't feel, it didn't choke me. I wouldn't say this is a beast type of fragrance. Yes, definitely I can smell this fragrance from my clothes, but from my skin, I wouldn't say it projected so much. It is very beautiful fragrance. I like the mixture of honey. It definitely has some oud. It has some leather aspects. It has some woody aspects, and it definitely has some cinnamon. Like cinnamon, vanilla, honey, oud, leather, these are the main players of this fragrance. And I would say this one is not the same, but I would say again from the same family as this one, is from the same family as Red Tobacco by Mancera. They are quite similar, I would say. Also Al Harmein Amber Oud Tobacco Edition, also quite, you know, they are quite close. They are not the same, definitely. They have lots of differences, but they belong to the same family, definitely. It's a very nice, I wouldn't say it's masculine, I would say it's very unisex type of fragrance, but it's quite oudi. Yes, I must admit, it has oud and honey, like they are arguing with each other. I wouldn't say that this fragrance is definitely about honey. I would say, first of all, it's about oud. Honey starts to develop a bit later. But anyway, I am very happy that this fragrance is not only about honey. I like that it's not that sweet. It's, well, to me, it's not sweet at all. I like the fact that it has some patchouli also. You can smell it, you can feel it. So it's quite a polite, intelligent type of fragrance, I would say. So a very nice one, surprisingly nice one, because again, I used to think that Montal has a very recognizable musky DNA that I didn't like at all. That's why I was so afraid to try. But after I tried this one, I was it was a very pleasant surprise for me. So Montal Honey Oud, a very beautiful fragrance that I can highly recommend. And the next fragrance is the fragrance from Moresque. It is a niche brand, Italian niche brand. It has a gorgeous handmade bottle, very beautiful one. And this one is honey plus leather. And this leather is borderline with oud. Sometimes the leather note is can smell very close to the oud, and that's the case. I would say this leather is borderline to oud plus honey. It's quite sweet, but it's not synthetic at all. In terms of the way it smells, the way the honey smells is very similar to natural. Like, it's very close to natural. And leather here, it's not that punchy leather. It's more soft, warm, woody type of leather, I would say. It's a very good, high quality type of juice, definitely. It has a beast mode performance, be aware of that. It lasts on the clothes until you wash them. It has quite a good projection, but I wouldn't say it is like very intensive and very long. It is normal, but again, don't overspray, because if you overspray, of course, you will choke yourself first of all, and it can cause a headache, definitely, because this is a very rich and bold type of fragrance. So be careful. But altogether, I can say a very beautiful, natural smelling honey, leather slash oud slash wood, because it has the notes of sandal. Sorry, I didn't say what is the name of this fragrance. It's Sandal Granada. Or Sandal Granada, something like that, and it has lots of sandalwood. The oud here is not mentioned in the list, in the fragrance list. However, again, this leather accord, the leather note that it has, smells very borderline with oud. So if you like oud, you can pay attention to this fragrance. If you don't like wood, no, this is not for you. And the last fragrance in today's list is a fragrance from Amouage, and this is Journey. And I think this is a heater in the bottle. This is an antidepressant in the bottle, in case if you feel so pessimistic and you don't have a mood, and if your autumn, your fall is very gloomy, dark, windy and rainy, and you want to cheer up, that's the fragrance that will create a smile on your face. Because I can't believe that there is someone who wouldn't like this fragrance and who wouldn't smile when they smell it. From the very small one to the very big one, everyone will be, pleased by this fragrance, definitely. It has lots of honey, apricot. It has some tobacco, leathery aspect as well. It is definitely a very sweet one. I would say it's one of the sweetest fragrances in Amouage's collection. But again, it's not sticky sweet. It doesn't bother at all. It keeps being quite a polite type of sweetness, quite intelligent type of sweetness, I would say. So I adore this fragrance. It's a perfect match for fall, autumn season. Again, so if you're looking for something like that, like very beautiful, very easy to understand and to wear, but at the same time quite a sophisticated type of fragrance, definitely look at this one. And I believe that's it for today. That was my 10 honey fragrances. If you have any other honey fragrances in your collection, please also let me know, because I'm looking for this note. I'm looking for something really natural smelling, because I love honey, but unfortunately, since I have fructose intolerance, I'm not allowed to eat honey. That's why the only thing that I'm left with is to smell it in fragrances. So I appreciate your attention. Thanks for watching me. If you haven't yet subscribed, please do subscribe, and don't forget to press that notification bell not to miss miss the next video. I also invite you to visit my Instagram page, and if you like the content, please subscribe. And again, thank you so much for watching me. If you like this video, please don't forget to give me a thumbs up as a support, and I hope to see you in my next video next week. Bye.